Salutations, sleuths. I'm Gina.
I'm Maria.
And we are
Fortuitous.
Boom! On their phone taking a video of themselves. Like, what are you doing? Should I start doing that?
Yeah, actually.
Do you think that's how we'll get famous?
Probably. That's what the people want. That's what people like. And just like, I think you should do that the entire time and completely ignoring what I'm saying and then just interject with your thoughts whenever in the accent.
Maria.
Yeah.
What ice cream are we having tonight?
Maracuja. Passion fruit for Americans. Are you keeping that on you the whole time too?
No.
Oh. All right. I'm just here.
I'm trying to tag on the cringiness. I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Just
Right.
too cringe for me. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let me find my notes.
I think the thing with
Tonight?
are we going?
Yeah.
Of course.
Duh.
I just shouldn't ask. Can you give me like a double blink or something? So I just think, all right, thank you. I think the thing with lotteries is it's so hard to find information because they try so hard to keep under the radar. I mean, who wouldn't? I know I would want to be under the radar if I won a lottery. So I feel like a lot of the information is a little tweaked.
No, well, I think some people do try to be, but I think there's just a whole lot of discrepancies because people just don't take the time to fact check before they put articles out. But so piggybacking off of last week's episode of Blessings and Curses, we mentioned winning the lottery was a curse. And today we are bringing the curse of the lottery.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank God you called out curse because I found no good stories.
No, and that's actually part of the notes that I have is like, is there actually a curse? Or do we just think that there's a curse because they only report out like the bad shit? Because who wants to hear about someone winning the lottery and then actually being happy? Like, you have money and you're happy? Fuck you.
Shit, I would want to.
Like, how dare you?
So that I know when I win that lottery,
I'll
be okay. Like, it's possible.
Well, and I think that's what, like, feeds into it is, like, okay, we've talked about there being a curse forever, so people have that seed planted. So then when they win the lottery, they're like, oh, shit, now I'm cursed. And then they play into that.
Ugh. I think that instead of preparing for like the zombie apocalypse or the end of the world or whatever have it, we should start planning for winning the lottery so that when that time comes, we follow the plan. Like, I know I would break it up and, you know what? I'm not going to tell you guys.
If I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
what would be your sign?
Like, there's like 100 cats around here. I have made like a cat palace, and it's like all black cats.
No, not the fucking black cats, bro.
Yes.
Ozzy, a demon.
Times 100.
Just get more Cleos, get more tabbies.
I'd get like a variety for sure, but I would definitely want to try and get like a big cat.
Do you not like dogs?
They're fine. But
right.
Dogs are like just too eager to please. Like
that's what I love.
Yeah.
They are angels that have been put onto this earth to watch us for a period of time. And then once we have done our rulings, we have, done what they have needed us to do in their lifetime, then they
move on.
Yeah. But I swear they're angels that come onto this earth to be here for a period of time.
I would agree with that. And then I think cats they come from under to test you. They come from below.
Some are angels. Callie's an angel. I love my cat.
Yeah, Cleo's an angel.
But I do miss having a dog that is trying to please me all the time. Like, yes, I love to tell them they're doing great.
I feel like That's very selfish. I need something that adores and loves me 100% of the time without question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, like, I'm secure in myself. I can have a cat and I can have it be like, fuck you. And then try to...
Why do you have to go and put such a negative connotation to wanting a dog?
No, and I'm not
That's like a... equivalent of having a kid. You're like, having kids is so selfish.
Everything is fucking selfish. Minus owning a cat. That is the most selfless thing that you can do.
Shut the fuck up. All right. We're talking about lotteries.
Lotteries, yeah.
Do we have any business today?
No business.
Okay. Just don't be fucking selfish. Okay?
Weekly wow. Don't be selfish.
All right. Well, shall I go first? I'm going to go first. Rock, paper, scissors. I win. Okay.
Well, I have a whole intro prepared. So, excuse me 1 second, lady. God damn. Just like, no one knows what we're doing. We're talking about lottery curses, and we each have brought stories. But what I was going to say, that is now probably ruined, I was going to say, there's an old saying that money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a curse. Lottery curses.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
You didn't come up with that, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh. Good job.
Not in the old saying, money can't buy you happiness.
Right.
But I added the ... but it may buy you a curse.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Can you trademark that?
TM. Just did. All right. So, if you believe in curses or not, there's a thing out there that does talk about curse of the lotteries. And I do believe that just with anything, especially money, too much is a bad thing. And the stories we have today are all prime examples of that. So yes, you can go first.
Jack Whittaker's tragic win.
Oh, do I have Jack Whittaker? We may have some repeats.
Okay, well.
But go for it. Did you title your own, or did you get...
Nope.
Okay.
I want to say yes, but no.
All right, so Jack Whittaker.
Oh no, what's happening? Everybody please hold. My computer's acting a fool.
The curse has begun already.
Why won't it let me scroll? What do I do?
Is it stuck? Is it a restart?
Let me close out. Back in. It's being dramatic if you ask me. There we go. Okay.
All right, here we are.
Sorry about that. Lottery, yeah. Jack Whittaker's tragic win, and this is a story. And if you do have him, please add on, because I only got a small snippet. Okay. In 2002, Jack Whittaker, a successful businessman from West Virginia, won a $314.9 million Powerball jackpot, the largest ever at the event. He generously donated to charities and gave money away, but his life took a dark turn. See, he did something good and still getting hurt.
I think that's like a common thing among a bunch of mine too, is that they either did or they wanted to do good things with it.
It's like, okay. Whittaker's life became plagued by lawsuits, theft, and personal tragedy, including the deaths of his granddaughter and daughter, both linked to substance abuse issues that escalated after the win. Whittaker himself later expressed regrets over his winnings, calling it a curse rather than a blessing. Talk about blessing and curses, like you said. Piggybacking our last podcast, or last episode. Sorry.
Same.
Anyways, he was already a rich businessman, by the way.
I was going to say, I don't have him, but I did read briefly about him, that he was already rich. Okay. And then he won this.
Which also, fuck that. I feel like it's always...
If you're already on top, like...
You don't need that.
Why are you playing the lottery if you're already rich?
But also, hats off, so... All right, what else information do you have?
I don't have him. I just, like, when I was reading through trying to find people, I saw his.
Okay. But, so, yeah, let's... I feel like there's not as much to talk about this one. This was just kind of, like, easing into the... hitting the ground running sort of thing, but I don't know, it was just like...
So did his granddaughters pass away from, you said overdose?
From substance abuse. Yes.
And that was money that he gave them that they used for said substances?
I didn't get much of the details on this. I'm assuming it could be a number of things. It could have been from them, having frustrations about the situation, stresses, whatever have not. Whatever. And they just started doing drugs to kind of deal
Pass
with it.
the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Or they're like, all this money, and
we don't have to work, and now we're bored, and like, let's do stuff.
Yeah, it could be that. I don't know. It could be a number of things, but
it sounds like took a nosedive after the lottery.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention they passed away, like your daughter and your granddaughter, like,
oh, I thought you said 2 granddaughters.
Deaths of his granddaughter and daughter.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, not a whole lot of details, but just look him up if you're interested. That's Jack Whitaker. He won $314.9 million. That's crazy.
Damn. And then I wonder how much that is, like, after taxes.
What?
I said, I wonder how much he actually got after taxes, because I got point. Like what people made after the taxes, and they take out minimum 50% of just stupid taxes.
What?
Yeah.
50%?
Like minimum.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So like if you win $1 million, you get less than $500,000 after taxes.
Well, duly noted, because, I feel like I don't know anything about money, so for me to possibly win a lottery,
hire a lawyer.
I need someone
and a financial advisor.
Exactly. I will hire that. That will be the first thing I do. I'm not going to tell a damn soul. Well, I don't even know if I would tell Greg yet.
No, but there's some states that don't let you claim it anonymously. Like, what? Yeah, there's some states that won't let you claim it anonymously. Like, you have to say your name, and they have to report it. It's just one of the laws or the rules. Because there's some people here that, like, in order to get the check, you had to go to, like, this showing, and then, like, they're recording it video-wise and everything, so people see your face, they see your name.
That's upsetting.
And they see the amount that you got.
That's really upsetting. I don't know if I would ever try to win a lottery if I knew the rules and was in one of those states.
Well, after, like, researching these stories, and I know that, like, we're only talking about the bad ones, and I looked up some stats, and there are people that do win it, and they're successful, and they live happy lives, and it actually enhanced their lives.
Good, okay.
But for me, now it doesn't seem like it's even worth the risk, based off of the stories that I've read.
I'm trying to put it in perspective. If I won, it'd be one thing. If Greg won, it would be another thing. If one of our friends won it, it would be another thing. Like, it would be all very different experiences based off of who in my life, or whether it was me winning it, how it would be.
I have a coworker who told me that if he won the lottery, he gave me a handshake agreement that he would pay me to quit also. He'd pay me like a year's salary up front to quit and go like elsewhere to find like another job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's got his plan all figured out. Would he actually? I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough, because I feel like you become a different person when money is at stake. All right, your turn.
All right, I named my own, and this one I titled Shakespearean Tragedy, because we have Abraham Shakespeare. So first of all, what a kick-ass name. Okay. But also second of all, foreshadowing. Because I think Shakespeare did comedies and tragedies, but he's known for his tragedies, and this one is, spoiler alert, tragic. So Abraham Shakespeare, he won $30 million in 2006 in Florida, but the time he had to spend it was short-lived. Shakespeare, he was shot twice in the chest in April of 2009 with a .38 caliber pistol, and he was not reported missing until November of 2009. So he's shot in April, but he's not reported missing till November, and then he is not found until January of 2010.
I'm guessing he wasn't on the state that required you to take a video of you winning the lottery.
Or, no, I think he might have. I don't know what Florida's is, and I think that he was because, as we'll see, he was found under a slab of cement in the backyard of property owner Doris Moore. Doris Moore. So Doris, aka DD Moore, she was in Tampa, And she was later found guilty and sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Abraham. And so she saw his name somewhere, came across his name somewhere, and that's where I think, maybe Florida did announce it. Anyway, so she offered to write him a book on his life story, and then also offer financial advice. But by the time that Dee Dee entered the picture, there wasn't a lot left of his winnings, because Shakespeare was also extremely generous with his winnings. And when he won, he chose to take the $17 million payout instead of the yearly increments. So you have $30 million down to a $17 million payout. And then there was a quote that said they weren't his winnings, they were the community's winnings, because he then gave a lot away to pretty much just about anyone that asked for them. So
wow.
It was for groceries, for funerals, for rent. So pretty much anyone that came to him, he would give the money. So by the time Dee Dee Moore came into the picture, most of it was already gone. But that didn't stop her, and I guess she didn't want to wait too long, or even to try to pull the ruse of managing his funds.
Say again the years. So how long did it take for him to go through the money, basically?
3 years. So he won in 2006.
Okay.
And then in April 2009, he shot, and by that point he had little left.
Wow.
But what got me was why did it take so long for him to be reported missing?
So that's what I'm saying.
7
He's such
months.
a known person.
Right. You have helped out your community. People know who you are. You have loved ones. You have a family.
Yeah.
But yet 7 months, no one hears from you and no one reports it till 7 months?
So did they say his family stayed in touch with him?
No, they didn't stay in touch. But then when they were asked why it took so long to report, they were like, well, we figured he was tired of being harassed by people asking him for money, that he just took off and didn't want to be bothered. We figured he was on some beach in the Caribbean. I was like, but still, you know that this man has won the lottery and you don't hear from him for 7 months, and you're not an inkling bit worried?
Mm-hmm. I have little faith in that family, that someone that is in your family and gave so much to the community,
right,
just goes missing, and you're just going to jump to that assumption. You're not even going to at least try to check on them.
Right.
There had to have been more to the story. There had to have been more.
No, that's what I'm saying. I looked up multiple articles, and so then the family was considered suspect because they didn't report him for so long. So then some people that were in his family were looked at as potential suspects, and that's where they had to explain themselves. Well, we thought that he just took off.
It's a little disappointing.
It is very disappointing. He was only 43 years old.
I would want to say his legacy goes down that he was such a giving person, but man, I'll be honest, I never heard of this guy. Sounds like he kind of got shafted by his family and by
the whole community.
Doris,
whatever the fuck her name is.
That bitch.
Dee Dee.
What happened to her?
She got life in prison. Let's see, I wrote it down. I think she got...
She didn't even get the money.
No, she did not get the money. Sentenced to life in prison. Yep.
Man. So that... Abraham Shakespeare. What a dope name, though.
What a name,
You're
right? Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Abraham.
I know.
All right, well, let me go. We got Bill Morgan.
Bill Morgan.
You know this one?
This also sounds familiar, but I looked at a bunch of names. I don't have them.
Sure. A little older. So in 1998, Bill Morgan, an Australian truck driver, was declared clinically dead for 14 minutes after a severe heart attack, but miraculously survived.
Okay.
This one is
14 minutes?
I know.
Damn.
I know. This one's kind of fun. I like this one.
Okay.
To celebrate his incredible survival, he brought a scratch-off lottery ticket and won a car worth $17,000.
Okay.
Wait for it. When the media covered his story, they asked him to reenact buying a ticket.
Oh, this is why I know him. Yes. Okay.
He did, and won $250,000 on camera.
He won again. Yes.
Morgan's story is often cited as an example of incredible luck. No fucking kidding. As of 2020, at 59, he was still doing well, and this is one thing that I was like, oh, it's kind of sad, but okay. He still buys a ticket every week, so he's hanging on.
So he didn't win like massive, but he won a car, he won $250,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I only could find anything of him as of 2020, so he's kind of been off the radar. I don't know if he's still around.
Yeah.
Hope he is, because...
Well, that doesn't sound like a curse, like, at all.
No, this one was a very good one. So
it's fun.
I forgot that I had this in here. I was like, oh, I didn't find anything good. No, this actually was pretty dope. Three big winnings.
Right, and then to do it on camera.
Yeah.
For the reenactment.
I can't even imagine. I feel like it would be like, if I were him, I would be like, ah!
Like, let me reenact it again.
It's like, no way. Oh, I got goosebumps thinking about winning a lottery ticket for the second time. Man. Okay.
All right, my next one is till winning the lottery do us part. Instead of till death do us part.
Oh.
This one, winner in the lottery but loser in love. So color me ironic. Connie Parker, 74 years old, she was shopping for a Valentine's Day card for her husband when she decided to just buy a lottery ticket. Husband is Kenneth Parker, age 77. That ticket that she bought just so happened to be the winner of a $25 million jackpot.
Wow.
So, like, woohoo. Except for, in the blink of an eye, and faster than you could say prenup, 16 years of loving marriage just poof, gone down the drain. Connie decided that she was done with Kenneth.
Oh.
She decided to take the money and run.
Mama's done.
It was just a quick little switcheroo skis.
While she was looking for Valentine's Day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Color me ironic because, damn, that was cold. And he even said that it was cold. She either ran or kicked him out of the condo, depending on what source. That's what I'm saying. I saw a lot of discrepancies, which was kind of annoying. But anyway, like, she was the one that initiated the end of their relationship. Kenneth Parker got a lawyer, and he decided he's not going to have any of that, and he's going to sue her ass because she signed for the ticket herself. And she
What ticket?
The lottery ticket. It was the winner.
Oh.
So she went to go and claim it all for herself. And because she was the only one that signed for it, she did get all the money.
Uh-huh.
But Kenneth Parker was like, no, she bought that lottery ticket with my money.
Oh.
So
how was that his money?
She bought the ticket with his money.
Like with his card, or like how was it?
With his cash or whatever. I guess she wasn't working. It's his money, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know? So he was like, that's also my money. So he sued her ass. And eventually an agreement was made where Kenneth would receive half of the lottery winnings. Post taxes, that was around only $3 million. So 25 down to 3. Which is fucking stupid.
Oh no.
However,
this is kind of awkward because she failed so hard. She's like, I could just see a little 74-year-old woman like, bye Marty. I don't know, what was his name?
Kenneth. Marty.
Bye Kenneth. I'm out of here.
Like, she kicks him out, and so then he goes and he lives with his son, and then he finds out, she's trying to take all the money, and he was like, no, and so sues her. It's a whole court battle. You can look up, there's actually like case Parker versus Parker. So it's Connie versus Kenneth Parker, and they came to the agreement that they will split it. So he gets half of it, and it's, just a little bit more than $3 million. 3 weeks later, though, Kenneth is visited by the Grim Reaper, and he passes away.
By what? What happened?
Just natural. Well, 4 months after he was diagnosed with metastatic lung cancer.
Okay.
When was this? So 4 months before he died, he was diagnosed.
Which was how long after the whole winning thing?
I don't have all the dates in here.
Okay.
I think it was like a year battle or something like that. It was, all of it happened within a couple years.
My
if I
first
remember correctly.
thought is, okay, my first question is, was it worth it? And then my second thought is greed. I just see greed.
On Connie's end.
Both of them. I mean, he was going to die, and...
Well, he wasn't diagnosed with cancer till, like they had won, and then they were gonna, because they played the lottery all the time, so then they had these plans of what they were gonna do after they won. She wins, and then she decides, we're not doing any of that, I'm gonna go do my own thing. But he already had all these things in mind he wanted to do. He's also 77 years old, and he wanted to leave stuff for his children. And so he did see this as a win, because his oldest son later said that he had his goal, he made his peace, and then he moved on to his next stop, which is why they think it was like so shortly after he won that he went ahead and passed, because it was like, it's my time to go. I accomplished what I wanted to do, needed to do.
Wow. A part of me is relieved it wasn't a heart attack, because I can only think, like, why else would you die? Of course, this was something else going on, but it's just like heartache, you know, that his wife just up and leaves over some money.
16 years. And which isn't like that super long, but it sounds like, and I didn't go into the background of each of them, but they were 74 and 77, having only been married 16 years. So let's say they got married in their like 50s, right? So were they both widowed? And then they found each other?
Yeah, I don't know.
Connie. Bitch.
What happened to her now? When was this? I'm sorry.
This was, I don't know when, but I looked it up, and they both passed. They have both passed since.
Okay. Damn shame. I don't know that every time I am reminded about a lottery, I just think, ugh. We have a friend that gets one often. Like almost every time he goes to the gas station, he gets one.
Really?
Yeah. You know who this is.
Does his name rhyme with Walker? Got it.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I think that's when I was saying earlier is I do consider what happens if I win? What happens if Greg wins? What happens if one of our friends win? I think about someone like him winning and how it would affect us in some way. Like it would bounce off us.
I think if any of the friends won, there's no way I'm asking for anything, and there's no expectations at all that I would get anything.
Well, money changes a person. You have to hope and hold on for dear life that is what you'll stand by. Because you just never know.
Oh, I mean, money is the root of all evil.
It really is.
I have no desire to be stupid rich.
Let's say that something happens to your house. Something happens just absolutely tragically and terribly at the same time the universe gives your friend a lottery. And you're just sitting here like, will you please give me some money? Like, you want to commit to your previous beliefs and say, I'll never do that. But who knows? Who knows what would happen to you?
Yeah, I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Money, you're absolutely right, though. Money is fucking evil. Yeah. I wonder this question all the time, and I've been asked when I was a young kid, and it always stands in my head, rent-free. What would the world be like if we didn't have to use money? Like...
Oh, there'd be fucking world peace.
Would it? It would just translate to something else.
Like we would use something else in exchange.
Yes, we have talked about this a handful of times, how the nature of us beings are greedy. We have to have something for ourselves in order to do something for someone else. Whether that be an object, a feeling, an emotion.
Some sort of trade.
Yeah, it will never, there's always, that's just the nature of the beast.
So you don't think there's anyone who is 100% selfless?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think that I have yet to come across that person. Because even the most selfless person that does everything for everyone, has a little inkling of
but are they doing
feeling
it
better
to make themselves make themselves feel better?
So I can't honestly say I have never met a genuinely selfless person. I think that selfless person is Jesus. That is about all I know. I've never met Jesus. So depending on your religious beliefs, but that's all I got. Okay, I'm going. You got anything else for yours? Mm-mm. All right. Callie Rogers, youthful spending. Callie Rogers, a 16-year-old from the UK, won £1.9 million in the lottery in 2003. As one of the youngest lottery winners in history, Rogers quickly spent her fortunes on parties, drugs, cosmetic surgery, and expensive gifts to friends and family. By 2013, she was nearly broke, had attempted suicide multiple times, and expressed deep regret over how she handled her winnings. Her story led to discussions. There's a twist. Her story led to discussions on whether there should be an age limit for lottery winners. And today, she is working really hard to be an attribute. Or I'm sorry, what's the word? Not an attribute.
I don't know what you're trying to think of. I think she's trying to be like a...
Didn't we say we were going to come up with a shirt that's going to have a
list of words
that
we struggled with?
Words that are hard. Well, she is advocating for, one, not there should be an age limit.
Okay.
But she also has become like a speaker for anyone that deals with those kinds of things and is trying to help them so that they don't have to go through what she went through.
A speaker for other lottery winners?
No.
Like, all right, I know you guys all won the lottery, and it's really, really tough. I'm going to talk you through on how to get through it.
No.
Because here's our little quartet of tiny little violins for our lottery winners.
No. That's not what I meant. Sorry. She's trying to work with people so that she can make an age limit. So
Is there not one for the U.S.?
I don't know. I don't know if it worked. I mean, this was in 2003 that she got the winnings. In 2013, she lost it all and, like I said, nearly broke. And then she comes out of it. She, kind of recovers from being suicidal and going through all that stuff, pulls herself out of that rough patch, and spends kind of the remaining of her time trying to advocate to make an age limit. Mm-hmm. But you're right. I think you have to be at least 18 to get
in the U.S.
off.
You do.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad there's a reason for that. Yeah. If you're a child, you're gonna
because you're fucking stupid.
Yeah. There's no reason.
You're not gonna have any financial responsibility. Duh.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. My next one is mansion to poo shed.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
I said, well, are you going to say your thing and then I'll repeat my title?
It digested after I said it. I just want to say good on her for not having an ending story of death. She definitely was a kid. She definitely was stupid and did all the things you could imagine someone doing.
Yeah.
Winning a lottery.
Lived and learned.
She lived and learned, and she did not have a short-lived life because of the lottery winning. She pulled herself out of it and is now, like I said, spending it on trying to make a little bit of a change, hopefully for the better.
Yeah, good for her.
If you ask me, I don't think the lottery ticket should be a thing. Why aren't we I don't understand them, for one.
Oh, so I looked up the history of why do we have lotteries, and
is it balancing the fucking
universe?
Yeah. No. No, what were those money things?
Taxes?
Stipend? No.
Stipends.
No, I don't know. God.
Anyway.
They gave us money for COVID. They're like, here's free money.
Oh.
And it was a check for $1,000.
$2,000 here.
Or something yeah. And they did 3 or 4 times. And everyone's like, woo, I got money.
Oh, to push the economy and help it keep going. No. So it started way back in, if I'm remembering correctly, 1400s. And it came across the pond, and I can't remember who started it for the exact reason, but I know it became a thing whenever they were taxing people too much already. And so instead of adding more taxes and then getting another revolution on their hands, they decided to create the lottery. And it's okay, you put money into this and you have a chance to win, and some of the money that you put in is going to go towards schools, it's going to go towards fixing the streets, and that was the government's way of getting more money from the people without taxing them.
Okay, well,
And then they still kind of do that today. I mean, I don't know how much goes towards fixing shit, but
I feel like if we just completely scrapped the lottery, you know, I don't know.
People are not going to pay. I mean, where is all that money going to go? The government's not going to give up that amount of money.
Well, we use money to do what we do anyways, and probably raise the taxes by a little bit. But then, like, are we maybe notice a difference on the streets? Let me tell you, St. Louis needs some fucking work.
We're not going to notice a fucking difference, even if they do raise our taxes. They're not going to do jack shit regardless.
You think?
I know. Do you not know the U.S. government? FBI agent, don't come at me, but come on. They're not going to do jack shit. It's not going to make a difference. At least this way, some people are fucking actually winning money.
Not me diving at the
It gives the people hope, you know?
Does it? I feel like we're all getting woke. All of us know nothing's going to change. Like, I want to be like, oh, are you sure? But also, I agree. Yeah, no, nothing's changing.
Yeah, there is still hope because people are still repopulating. People wouldn't have kids if they didn't think shit's going to change.
Selfish, remember? They're not doing it for that. At least not all of them. They're doing it because they want to make a little baby and see their little mini them.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah. Let's create a miniature version of ourselves because we love ourselves so much.
Hit us with the next one, please.
All right, so I'm going to say it again, the title. Mansion to Poo Shed.
Okay.
So in 2001, David Lee Edwards won part of the $280 million lottery jackpot, which was the third largest lottery pot in U.S. history. Wow. Yeah. David happened to be an ex-convict from Kentucky. He received a lump sum of $27 million after taxes. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of change.
That's the kind of lottery you want.
Yeah. So
or is it?
No, not with this story. He was convicted of robbery in 1981, and then he served out his sentence through 1997, and then he won in 2001. He blew all of his money in 5 years, and then ended up living in a shed covered in poo. So, what did he spend it on? How did he lose it? So the first thing that he did was he married his then girlfriend, Shauna Maddox, in Malibu, California.
Okay.
Which is fucking, like, expensive as shit. Whenever we were growing up, we would ask my dad, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And my dad would always be like, a beach house in Malibu. Mm-hmm. And so one year, I made my dad a little model-size beach house.
You bitch.
You know, the little house and everything in Malibu. And I gave it to him. And he calls it, he always reminds me, he was like, remember that one year that you gave me a litter box?
That's actually really cute, though. And that's a cute answer of his. What do you want for Christmas? I'm like, go big or go home.
Yeah,
you know?
Beach house in Malibu.
Good job, Dad.
It immediately pulled me back to that when I saw this. I was like, Malibu. So secondly, with reckless abandon, they spent all the money. Like, they just went hard. So they bought a mansion in a gated community. They bought more than a dozen expensive cars and a private jet. Because why the fuck not?
These are all the things that you, when
that
you ask
hear about
a child, what would you do if you won $1 billion? I'd buy a mansion.
My own plane, cars.
Oh my gosh.
And so not only were they addicted to spending, they became addicted to drugs as well. Drug addiction entered the chat. So like that mansion, that was $1.6 million. 6,000 square feet.
Well, you gotta keep that shit up too.
Yeah.
You don't just buy and be done.
No, and one mansion was not enough. They had
what?
They bought another house. I don't know if it was a mansion for $600,000. And so this was back in 2001. So $600,000 back then is easily in the millions today.
Yeah.
$1 million on luxury cars, $2 million on that jet, and then he decided to invest $4.5 million in fiber optics installation company, and also into a limo business because limos were a thing in the early 2000s.
Okay.
He paid $500,000 to his ex-wife over this custody battle so that he could get custody of his teenage daughter. So I was like, okay, you know, I kind of like that. However, it ended up, not working out for her. Spoiler alert. He spent $3 million within the first 3 months.
Jeez.
$1 million a month. And then another $12 million the rest of that first year.
Oh, man, this is hurting to listen to.
I know, and it is the exact opposite of what he said he would do. So there's a quote of him, I guess, going to go pick up his check, and he told the reporter, quote, "I didn't want to accept this money by saying I'm going to get mansions and I'm going to get cars, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I would like to accept it with humility."
That's the most lack of thereof.
I know. And then he goes on to say, "I want this money to last for me, for my future, for my daughter, and for future generations."
Wow.
Future apparently is only 5 years.
He said, "You know what? Fuck that. Here I go."
He went 180. He was like, "You know what? YOLO."
Did his kid get anything? I guess not.
I'm getting there.
Oh, no.
So by 2006, which is 5 years after the winning, he was penniless. And not only was he penniless, but he was negative penniless because he owed money to people, including to the HOA in Florida for that big-ass mansion. HOA will get you. And so he started living in a storage shed, which allegedly was covered in human feces. Why is a shed covered in feces? I don't know.
What a detail.
I know. It was literally, when you look him up, it's like lottery winner goes for mansion, or like lives in poo shed, or, like something about a shit shed is in like literally every single article and most of the titles. So it was like a key detail that they kind of like focused in on.
Please tell me there's a photo.
I don't know if there's one of the shed.
I just want to see the shitstorm.
And then his not so devoted wife decided to leave him because now he's got no more money. And then she remarried someone else. She did, however, I think still somewhat care for him or love him, because she went ahead, her and her new husband took him in after he lived in the shed for a while. And then they kept him at their place until they found a spot for him in a hospice. Because he lived hard and fast, it took a toll on him. And as well as, taking all the drugs. He also contracted hepatitis from the use of needles. And so he died at the young age of 58 in 2013.
Wow.
Leaving his daughter nothing.
Dang. How old was his daughter?
I don't know, but she was old enough to post on Facebook, quote, "There is no money," all caps, exclamation marks.
That's all she said.
That was one of the posts, was
she's letting everybody know.
There's no money.
Stop asking me. There's no money.
There's no money.
I did find a picture of him. Yeah.
He looks rough.
Not to mention, I didn't even think about it. It looks like there's this photo of him in his mansion, and it's all the stuff
all the
that you
decor.
have to get with the mansion. I'm not even thinking about the house. I'm thinking about
the decorations.
All the things, yeah.
Your marble statues, your gold picture frames, your china from China. Like,
I'll tell you what, I went to Carroll House the other day.
Yeah.
It's kind of a vibe.
Oh, I love Carroll House.
I've never been there before.
We had a really great salesperson from Carroll House. I have his card somewhere. We're going to go back to the guy because we liked him a lot. That's where we're going to go get our couch.
I also saw a great guy. His name's Timothy. Well, that's not true. I lied. His name's Anthony.
Close.
Near Maryland Heights. Go check out Anthony if you're in the St. Louis area, because he did help assist out. Anyways, that's what I think of like when I think of a life in a mansion. I'm going to go get all my stuff from Carroll House. Okay?
From the Goodwill.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
you're up.
What was he a convict for again?
Robbery. Again, a lot of mine are very ironic.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Tonda Dickerson. Oh, this made me sad because I think of Waffle House workers.
Dude, I literally just passed by a Waffle House the other day and I was like, you know what? I've never been in a Waffle House. That's one of my never have I ever. I've never gone to a Waffle House. Yeah.
I'll take you to a Waffle House.
I don't know.
It changes a person.
Yeah.
For the better.
Does it though?
It has its plus and minus.
It's one of those perception things.
I'll tell you what. I went during the worst hangover of my life. And
I feel like there's a time and a place that you go to Waffle House, and I don't know if I will ever get to that stage.
I would say Waffle House, you want to go at night when it's like 1 a.m.
I was going to say, that's a 2 a.m. place.
It's a great time. Not the following morning when you're hungover from that night that you would have gone at the 1 a.m. Because I had the worst headache. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, they are working their ass off, and they are right in front of you. The kitchen is right there.
So you can see it.
You see it. You hear it, the clattering, the hitting of it just makes you just, ooh.
Like it's too much?
It's way too much. Oh my gosh. I had to go sit outside on the curb because I actually thought I was going to die. It was a really
overstimulated in a Waffle House.
It was the night after the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, damn.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
But resulted in a really rough morning. And we chose to go to fucking Waffle House. Not my choice.
This is like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. after you guys woke up? Or
yeah.
This is at...
Yeah, 8 a.m., give or take. Really early. We were getting ready to go back home. Drive back. No.
Oh, so you're going to sit in the car with that in your stomach.
Yeah. I just couldn't do it. But I'll tell you what. For any other time, not hungover... Or if it's like the night of, I don't know. It's so fun.
Have you been there not hungover?
Really good pancakes. What?
Have you been there not hungover?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there a few times. I'm gonna recommend you go. I'll take you.
We could go. Let's put it on the list.
After our self-defense class that we're gonna take.
Oh yeah, we said we were gonna do that, and we're actually signed up for it.
Yep.
So it's gonna happen.
I'll take you. We'll go get pancakes.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Okay. Anyways, Tana Dickerson, a Waffle House waitress, she won $10 million in the lottery in 1999 after a customer gifted her the ticket.
All right.
Get that.
What a tip.
Her win led to the lawsuit from her co-workers who claimed they had an agreement to share any lottery winnings. So maybe talk that out with your pal.
Get a signed contract.
Talk that out with your pal. Later, she was kidnapped by her ex-husband, who demanded part of her winnings. And after her escaping, she still had to fight numerous legal battles over the money. Her story is a cautionary tale about the complexities and dangers of sudden wealth.
Complexities?
Thank you.
Complexities. I'm like, how many more syllables are you going to add to this?
Complexities. Complexities. Complexities.
Complexities.
Oh, no. But yeah, I mean, get that. So, I don't know how she's doing. I didn't get it.
So you're kidnapped by your ex-husband. You got your co-workers being all greedy and shit. Mm-hmm. Damn.
But gifted from a customer. I'm surprised that customer wasn't out for her.
Yeah.
Like, I gave you that ticket.
I know.
That makes me think of Willy Wonka.
The original one?
The original. How he goes and gets a ticket with, like, the $1 he has.
Yeah.
But that dollar was from, like, the older guy. So he took the older guy with him on everything.
Oh, from the old man in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it was from him, right?
That's why I can't remember. It's been so long.
Man, I think he technically had 2 tries. Because the first try was a failure. But the second one, he did get it. And then the guy that was at the store was like, you take this and you run home. Like, you don't tell anybody. It was the equivalent of winning a lottery, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have. You got more?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I only have 2 more.
Okay.
All right, so keep your friends far away and your enemies even further.
Say that a second time, please.
Well, I will, because the one after it is also like a part 2 of it.
Oh, no.
So Jeffrey Dampier, popcorn entrepreneur, which, first of all, that sounds so pure and innocent. But second of all, that's where the purity stops.
Okay.
So Jeffrey won $20 million in the Illinois State Lottery in 1996. Soon after he won, he divorced his wife. So he's the one that's like, I'm out. But he did give her half of the winnings. So good on you, Jeffrey.
What are these marriages?
I know, and that's where I'm like, maybe don't win the lottery.
Ugh, yikes. Okay.
Love is really tested when you win the lottery. So he married a new bride and then proceeded to have an affair with said new bride's sister, aka his sister-in-law. So that's what I'm saying.
Have money. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. No.
When I first started reading the story, it was like he was a popcorn entrepreneur, and I was like, oh yes, we love a Jeffrey. But then the second sentence started talking about the affair, and I'm like, oh.
What is a popcorn entrepreneur?
He opened up his own like gourmet popcorn store.
That's adorable.
I know, right?
Okay. What year?
1996,
okay.
Or shortly after. He won the lottery in 96. So he gets married, starts having his affairs, and then the sister-in-law is the one that ends up shooting Jeffrey.
Oh.
So we'll get there. So after Jeffrey won and divorced his wife, he went from Chicago down to Tampa, Florida. A lot of my stories take place in fucking Florida. And I'll say my comment at the end. But so he goes to Florida, he opens up that gourmet popcorn shop, and then we have another generous lotto winner, because while he's there, he spends his money on gifts for the new side of the family. He buys like a whole shit ton of people like these lavish cruises, and so he's just, like here.
Pop off.
One of those gifts happened to be to the sister-in-law, and so he gave her something shiny. She gave him other stuff. So they start affairing hard. And then things go south, like further south than Florida South. And Victoria, the sister-in-law, she hit her own financial hardships. And because there's this affair happening, they're not like officially dating. So she is actually seeing this other man named Nathaniel. Nathaniel catches wind that her brother-in-law has won the lottery and he's got money. So, evil scheme is hatched. Victoria pretends to have car problems.
Wow, they just became criminals.
Yeah.
They just... I bet they're shitty
dime.
criminals too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh. So she pretends to have car problems. She lures Jeffrey over. And as soon as he comes over, Nathaniel pulls out a shotgun, forcing him into the van. So they kidnap him. And while they're in the van, they're trying to get Jeffrey to agree to give them money. Jeffrey being quote-unquote uncooperative because he's not going to fucking give them money, being a hostage. They decide that Nathan decides that he's done with Jeffrey. But instead of him killing him, he points the gun at Victoria and says, you shoot him or I shoot you.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was a wild, twisty tale.
Whoa.
So...
This is out of a book. This is
a
real
movie.
Thing.
Yeah. And so she didn't hesitate. She fired a single shot in the back of Dampier's head, killing him instantly. And then, because they were really shitty criminals, it was really evident who did it. And so she was tried and found guilty on first-degree first-degree murder, armed kidnapping, armed carjacking, all in 2006, sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences.
What was the point?
Right, they didn't get, I don't know what kind of... Well, they obviously didn't get the money because they got in jail, because ditto for Nate Dogg here, he got, the same shit. So they just went to jail. And it was he was gifting them money and cruises anyways.
Oh my gosh.
But I guess, because Jeffrey and Victoria were... affairing and having their own relationship, Jeffrey was not so willing to give the other man in Victoria's life money.
Fair. As one would.
So it was just whew.
That is a doozy.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for them at all.
No.
I kind of felt like an inkling of bad for Victoria, because whose idea was that again?
I don't know if it said, if it was just... I think it was probably Nathaniel's.
I'm wondering if he convinced her, and then she probably didn't feel great about it, got stuck doing it, and then he's threatening that if you don't shoot him, I'll shoot you. Yeah, that's a bit of a... She's in her own kind of hostage situation and acted on it.
Yeah.
But she could have, shot him in the shoulder or something. I don't know, not kill him.
I know, in the back of the head. Like, that's fucking cold.
Like, you really went all the way in. You didn't even try to
like, zero hesitation.
miss or something. Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it was both of their plan.
Yeah.
Both of their evil scheme.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Well,
people be peopling. All right. Keep your friends far away and your enemies even further away. Part 2. But with a different person.
Okay.
All right. And this one is very Agatha Christie-esque. If you know who Agatha Christie is.
She's like, I do.
She's the queen of whodunit.
Okay.
So this sounds like one of her books. So we have Urooj Khan, 46-year-old immigrant from India. He won $1 million from a scratch-off ticket in Chicago in 2012. His plan was to use that money towards the 3 dry cleaning businesses that he owned and then make a contribution to the St. Jude Children's Research Center. So this man, immigrant from India, came here, American dream, won $1 million, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to put it back in my businesses, and then I'm going to give it to Children's Research Center.
Okay.
The day after he picks up his check for just shy of $500,000, it was $424,500. So less than $500,000 with a $1 million scratch off because of fucking taxes. So one day after he picks up that check, he is dead. One day.
What happened?
So initially, the cause of death was first ruled as natural causes.
Bullshit.
Right? So, however, the family requested further testing, and when they did, they found cyanide in his system. Fucking cyanide. Thus, opening up a homicide investigation, because one does not just stumble upon cyanide.
No.
So, and it turns out the same day that he picked up his check, he had actually thrown up blood.
That's so sad.
The same day. So it turns out, like, that night, he had dinner with his wife, who happened to be his second wife. I don't know if that's, like, a special detail or not, but it's his second wife.
I was going to ask if he had family.
Yeah, so, like, he wins it. They go home. He has dinner with her, the father-in-law, and his daughter. And it's the wife that prepared the meal. And it was just a typical, traditional Indian lamb curry. And it was hours later that he was found screaming in his bedroom, and then he was rushed to the hospital.
Wow. By who? Who rushed him?
The ambulance.
Oh, okay.
So, for some reason, the medical examiner initially did not find any of this sus. Like, okay, a man wins the lottery, then all of a sudden he's, like, very sick the very first night. He just has, like, a dinner, and then he throws up blood, and he's, like, screaming. And he's pulled into the medical examiner's office. For whatever reason, she didn't find anything, he didn't find anything suspicious of that situation. He's only 45 years old. Urooj Khan is only 45 years old, and there was no evidence of foul play. So the medical examiner thought it was God damn me.
You got it.
My brain immediately just goes like arterial
Spell it.
Malfunctioning here. It's cardiovascular disease with your arteries.
Arterial.
No. Arteriosclerotic. Look at me. I'm only saying it once. If you caught it, you caught it.
You're so proud.
I'm so proud of it.
I'm so proud of you.
It just came out of nowhere.
Arteriosclerotic. Okay.
Yes, cardiovascular disease condition, i.e., the arteries harden.
Okay.
And that's where I was like, what?
Ew.
Seemingly out of nowhere, your arteries just do that? They just get hard?
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be really painful.
Yeah, hence the screaming.
Yeah.
So an autopsy was not originally ordered, and the forensic pathologist, they also examined the body. They took a sample of blood, and that was just to check for carbon monoxide, poisoning, opiates, or alcohol.
How were they able to get blood?
That was my question. I was like, how do you get blood but then not see the cyanide in the blood? Can you just not see cyanide in a blood sample?
Not. No.
That's what I'm guessing if they didn't catch it the first time. Because then it goes on to say that, like, okay, the family wasn't buying it. They were the ones that pushed for an autopsy. So the case was reopened.
The family was.
Yeah, the family was like, this is suspicious.
Okay.
And so they pushed really hard. And so they exhumed him, and then they did further, more comprehensive toxicological exams. So I think you have to test it some other way.
Okay.
And then when that was done, then boom, cyanide was found, thus declaring it a homicide. And cyanide is hard to procure. You cannot just order it from Amazon. I don't know how you get it, especially in the 21st century. Way back in, 18th century maybe, I don't know. It was, like, more commonplace. But nowadays, like, you don't fucking hear of cyanide. And in the, like, 4,500 autopsies that this medical examiner had performed, this was only the second cyanide poisoning that he had ever seen.
Okay.
So, like, who the fuck got it? Where did they get it from? And
Tell me they found out.
they have not found it.
They never found
They've
out.
not, to this day, no one has been arrested.
Because I'm curious, the family pushed for it. Then maybe it wasn't.
Right? Or
But
were they
clearly it
pushing?
was someone killed him.
Were they pushing for it to take the suspicion off of them? Because it's like, well, if we did it, why would we push for it? Right? Why would, if it was, I don't think it was the family, because if they mark it as natural death, then, like, they just got away with it, right?
Workout paused.
Oh my gosh.
Workout paused.
Sorry.
So I feel like it's got to be someone else, but it's like, how on earth did they administer that, right? Because he picks up the check. I don't know what he did between then and going home.
There's not really any time to go buy willy-nilly the cyanide, like you mentioned.
Well, right, and that's what's like, okay, it's not like you have, like, a stack of cyanide, right? No one just has that in their, like, bathroom mirror to use on the ready, right?
I don't
Maybe someone does.
I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
One more time. What year was that?
This was more recent. 2012.
I want to look into that.
Well, I looked it up to see if they found anyone yet, and there's been nothing.
Okay, well,
So that's 12 years.
yeah.
That's absurd.
Poor guy. It wasn't
I
even that
know.
much. Like, if there's any type of lottery to win, it's like a good amount of money, but
Yeah,
not
that-
like a
just
fuck
enough.
ton. Yeah,
Right.
like if that's $500,000, I'll tell you what I would probably do. I probably would not spend any money on it. I wouldn't buy anything. $500,000 these days.
Oh, that doesn't go anywhere anymore.
Where is that? What's that doing? Yeah, I mean it'll get you a little somewhere, but like. No, I throw
can't
that
retire.
right in the bank that's going to make money off of itself, and I wouldn't touch it for another 10 years.
Put it in a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
Invest.
Like, I will set myself up to just retire a long
Early.
time from now. I know some people would be like, I'd get myself out of debt. Like,
Yeah.
do something that just makes your life a little less stressful financially, but don't go buy random shit.
A fucking jet. A
What
private
the fuck?
jet.
That's not doing anyone any good, including yourself, literally.
Right.
Well, that was interesting. I think all I learned from this is that I don't really care to win any money.
That's what after like reading these stories, I was like, well, shit, maybe I won't play the lottery. Or if I do, it's going to be like those small amounts.
Mm-hmm. That's the fuzzy thing, though. Like with going and gambling, I am really good about stopping when I win any money.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, I do
I'm
fine.
like, let's push it.
No, you're like Greg. Greg's not an addict. Like when he goes, he is going to like that is the activity. That's the equivalent of going and eating a really fancy meal. Like he's going knowing that he's going to put this much money into it and not get it back.
Okay.
But if you win, great. He's willing to just break even, and sometimes here and there he'll come back with like a couple $100 or something. And
Nice.
be like, I won $200. And it's every now and then. Where the one time I won money, I'm like, that's it, and I just followed around people and watched them. Like I won my money for the night, and I was out of there. And you know how much money I won? I won like $700.
Well, shit. Yeah, $700. I'd be like, all right, I'm okay. I don't need to push that.
No, some people would be like, I won $700. Let's use this to go, which is what they want. Like,
Yeah.
Yep, that was in Vegas. That was a good time.
That's awesome.
I was really proud of it. So, I'll never forget that. I just remember the time I won some money. And I sat there and I was playing it with the same game. It's called Buffalo. Like, it was a slot.
Yeah.
But it was a slot machine that, oh my God, I'll tell you one story.
Okay.
Do we have time for it?
Yeah. You've already started it, so.
It's a separate story. I was with my dad. It was for my 21st birthday, but really I was 22 because my dad's side of the family does a family reunion.
In Vegas every year. Yeah.
Or it's like a tradition where it's every other year. It's the odd year of every year. Or of every other year. Odd year of every other year.
Just every other year.
Anyways, we go and I'm with my dad and he is on Buffalo. So he wins all this money. It just keeps going up. It keeps adding up. And at some point, he's not even touching it because the way it's designed is that if it hits a certain, I don't even understand. I couldn't even tell you or explain how it works. But it would get its thing, and then it would just add on 5 more plays. And so he would just sit there, and it would do 5 times, and then it would add on 5 or 10 more plays.
Yeah.
And then in those times, it's adding money. It's not taking money. It's just adding. It keeps going up. He probably won like $900.
Oh, damn.
And I'm sitting there with my drink in hand. Go, Daddy, go! I was so excited for him.
So proud.
But I was standing over him with my drink like, woo! Just, really excited. I look over and, my dad is not a young father, okay? Mm-hmm. So I look over and this woman's looking at me like, oh my gosh, this bitch.
Well, as soon as you said, go, Daddy, go, I'm like, oh, that could be construed as a bunch of...
Look, I'm not proud of it. I know I'm not the only, young adult female that calls her dad daddy, but I did it and just...
You were excited.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, Daddy!
And like, your inner child came out, go, Daddy!
I said it out loud. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to let you win this. I'm going to go up here for a little bit. And I walked away.
It's so, I think, impossible to say daddy without...
It's just because now that I am who I am at this day and age, it's a very dirty word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bad. Okay, on that note...
in closing, money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, I'm going to say the weekly wow is make an apocalyptic plan for winning the lottery. Or just stick to it.
Or just don't play it.
Or don't play it. Choose your poison. But if you choose to go win a lottery, make sure you know what the fuck you're doing. And don't be a dick.
Lawyer up if you...
And don't tell anybody.
And that's where, what state has the rule or the law that you have to...
Well...
say your name.
Right back with what you said. Go get a lawyer immediately. Hire a full-time bodyguard. I don't care.
Educate yourself before you play.
Ugh, that's not... And when you win, you don't go, I won a lottery!
Announce it to everyone.
Do not
Jack,
do
Jill,
that.
and Job.
Yeah. All right, well. Bye.
Bye. It's raining.